Hello, this is Katie. Welcome back to my channel. We're going to be making a coffee Valentine's card from a kit that I have made for card class that I'm going to be holding. So I'm going to be making one of the cards from the kit. I am using this set from Newton's Nook Designs. I don't believe it has a name. I don't think their earlier sets had names. They might now. And then some dies that I received from a ThermoWeb giveaway, and then also my new MFT stitched rectangles dies, which just has more than my other set I usually use. So I've pre-cut those. I've pre-folded a card. One of the rectangles, the smaller one, is in vellum, and then the larger one is in the craft cardstock. And then I'm going to be stamping and creating a background with the coffee cup from the stamp set, and I'll be using Crunchy Leaf from Lawn Fawn that I just received. I got Crunchy Leaf and River Rock recently to play with those. So just kind of a random background. I've already made one of these cards and it was even more random, so I'm trying to keep some sort of a pattern, but a little bit random. That one I stamped a little harder than I probably should have. So it doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody's really going to pay attention to the pattern and if it's exact. So I'm just kind of filling in spaces or edges, things like that, to create the background. And then so for the sentiment that's going to be on the white circle, this ended up getting really inky for some reason. I just didn't like the way it looked. It wasn't supposed to come out that inky. So I'm going to take a circle from another card kit. I'll replace it later. And then also on this stamp, I guess I've never stamped with it before, but part of the U in your is just missing on the stamp. I even looked at it really closely with my fingernail and it's just cut out from the stamp. I don't know what happened, but I'm just going to take a mechanical pencil and fill it in. You can't really tell the difference unless you looked really, really closely. So I stamped that, and then I'm going to put down the vellum piece. I know that there is like an adhesive runner, a little handheld one out there that is kind of like vellum adhesive, so it doesn't show through so much, but I just decided to go with my Zots and just stick it down in the corners. I'm going to do something a little bit later that may help to cover up a little bit of it, but I don't really mind. It's handmade and I need to stick it down, and so some adhesive might show, but I still like the look of the vellum. And then in the kit, I have two pieces of ribbon. One is shorter, one is longer. This is the shorter one. I'm just going to, instead of using one long piece to tie around and try tying a bow, I'm going to cheat and do it this way and just put down a strip of ribbon and then take the longer piece of ribbon and just hand tie a bow. I'm going to stick this down. I think I stick it down right before I stick down the ribbon, but I'm going to set that aside. So I'm just going to hand tie in midair a bow. Try to make it as flat as I can, and then pull on the ends and make it a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to trim off the ends with these Fiskars scissors I was given. They ended up being the best for cutting ribbon that I've had. It cuts it very easily. And then I'm going to grab a few Zots for the back, the middle of the little bow that I just tied, to stick down. And I'm going to stick it down with the white circle. I know where I want that, and then I'm just going to kind of center the ribbon on what's left and then set that aside. Actually, no, I'm going to put foam tape on this because it's going to be lifted up on foam on the card base. So I'm going to do that part first. And I'm holding this in midair while I do it because if I were to press it down on the table while I'm doing it, since I did the ribbon first, that bump is there and the foam will kind of conform to the bump, and then it might bend the whole front of the card. So I'm attaching the foam in midair, if that makes sense, anywhere around the ribbon bow that I created. And then I'm just going to peel these off and stick it down to the card base. And then we will get to coloring the 2 images that are in the kit, the card kit I made. So I will set the base aside. And then the 2, I just used Lawn Fawn Jet Black ink. I stamped the same coffee cup. And then I'm just going to use a couple sets of shuttle markers. This is the Shuttle 88 alcohol marker set from Amazon. It's a pretty good deal. I like these markers. It's hard to find pairs of colors within just this set alone that will blend well with each other. I ended up going with 11 and 84. It's not perfect. It's definitely not Copics, because if you're just depending on one set, this 82 and 83 go okay together for purple. That's kind of why I have a few cheap alcohol marker sets from Amazon for like card class. If I bring all of them, then it's easier to find colors that go together. I probably won't bring the whole sets. I'll just bring the colors that blend that I intended for the card. Now that my Copics are not in a bin, they're in front of me in my storage. Those are harder to bring to card class. And then I'm just doing a little bit of C1 from the edges, just to give it kind of a hint of just not straight white. And then I'm using the colorless blender to blend that out so it doesn't look too sketchy. And then I'm also getting rid of some color that went outside the lines. And then I am going to pause while I cut these out. And then my husband brought me Skittles because Marshawn Lynch scored a touchdown, and we were watching the Seahawks while I'm doing this. So that's awesome. Hopefully we win and stay in the playoffs. So I'm just using my art glitter glue to stick these down, kind of straight and then off center, just like the background. And then to finish it off, I'm going to be using the platinum stickles. I kind of bought this for New Year's cards, but I ended up not making more than one New Year's card because I made a bunch of the one that I liked. So I'm just going to squeeze these all over the vellum and where I just did them. And I'm also kind of using one here and there to cover up the glue dot behind the vellum in the corners. So that helps a little bit. But once I finish this, that will be the card. Thank you for watching Valentine's Day card number 2. Hopefully there will be more. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.